Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Walworth and I'm the owner of the Tech Editor Hub. And today I'm here to talk about our community. So I want you to imagine for a second that there was a place online where people understand you and your work as a pattern technical editor and could help you solve problems. What if you could jump into an editor huddle and get unstuck, inspired, and motivated? Would you want to check it out? Well, I built a place like this just for us in March, and today I want to take you on a little tour of this. So just a little bit of background from me. I am a pattern grading coach. I do grade some patterns. I am a knitting technical editor, and I'm the author of a soon-to-be published book on writing great knitting patterns. I've been working at this for 7 years, and I've had a lot of experience with this. So as a new editor, I loved editing. When I first found out about tech editing, I loved it so much, but I didn't know anything about how to run a business. I didn't have the confidence that I was editing well. I was discouraged and I was stressed and I was wondering how on earth I was going to make this work. Now I'm in a completely different place. So I've edited hundreds of knitting patterns, multiple books and pattern collections. I've worked as a project manager with a fabulous editing team. And I actually had to stop taking on new clients, and I got to choose exactly who I wanted to work with and what I wanted to work on. But the way that I got there was by being in a community. So when I joined a group of people like me who were learning and growing and aspiring, where I could get my questions answered and get encouragement, it changed everything for me. And so I want to just encourage you. You may be thinking, do I really need another thing to join, another thing to do? Can't I just market myself more and maybe study more? And I would say absolutely 100% yes. You definitely can do that. But as an individual editor, you really can't know it all. So I'm thinking of a time when I was working on an exceptionally complex project, and I just could not wrap my head around how to visualize the short rows that I needed to check. I don't know if short rows are your nemesis if you're a knitting tech editor, but it definitely is for me. And so I tapped into my network of editing friends, and I got not one, but 2 different ways to work through the math, both in a spreadsheet and drawing it out. Could I have Googled that? No, because this kind of knowledge comes from super smart people who are figuring out how to apply their skills to editing. And I benefited from that, and I was able to help them in other ways when they got stuck in a project. So to be really good at editing patterns, you have to have colleagues, workmates, peers, people who are doing the same job, but maybe they live in a different city or maybe even in a different country. Collectively, as groups, a group of pattern and technical editors, both crochet and knitting, we have this mass of knowledge, this massive experience. And what you are struggling with right now, and that pattern that you're editing this week, maybe something that comes really easy for someone else. And likewise, something that is hard for them is going to be easy for you. So by connecting in a private, safe space that's just for editors, no designers, at least not our clients are not in there, you can actually go farther and get to your goals faster. So if you're here with me today and you're watching live, I'd love to hear what you think about this. I'm watching the comments over here. And I'd love to hear how you solve problems in your business and how you solve problems when you run into a hurdle. Where do you go? Where do you get help from? I created this community in March because I firmly believe that we can't do it on our own, that we need each other. when you have colleagues to conference with, to tap into for knowledge bits you're short on, you actually become a better editor. And once you make lasting connections with other people doing the same specialized client work that you do every day, you're going to find out that you end up with more clients, you widen your skill base, you don't feel alone at home in front of your computer editing patterns by yourself. You actually feel like you're in a community and part of something bigger. So that's what this video is about. I just want to invite you over to my community and show you around and see if it's something that you might be interested in joining, because I want you to be excited about going to work. I want you to get compliments from your clients. I want you to get referrals from people you've never talked to. I want you to hit all your income goals every month and maybe even be asked to speak and to teach. And my biggest desire for everyone in our whole industry is that we would all level up. And I feel like the only way that we can do that is together. And that is why I did this. That's why I created this. So I'm going to start showing you around. And just as an upfront, signups are open this week, only till Sunday morning at 8 a.m. So if you are possibly interested in joining us, this is the time to do it. And the information is at the link below in the comments section if you want more information on it. So let me go ahead and show you around in my community. Just a moment, let me find it here. Let me get this open. And there we go. So the community is hosted on a platform called Mighty Networks. If you are familiar with it, it is designed specifically for these kinds of communities. And this is what it looks like when you come in. My profile is up here in the corner, and you can see over here on the left in this area is all of these different spaces. And I wanted to just take you through each one of these and show you how it will meet your need. Now, this community is hosted on Mighty Networks, which means it's not on social media. It is a separate desktop app and a mobile app. So you can access it on the go, and you can also access it while you're working on your computer. This first area is the feed, which shows everything that's going on in the community, kind of like a Facebook feed. The biggest and the most busiest place is our forum. Our forum is a place where you can join into the conversation and ask questions. This is where people come in. One of the most recent questions was, what are the things that you're focusing on this week? This is where you'll get motivation, where you can do a weekly check-in. Also where people share their questions. Like this is a question that just came in about pattern romance. How do I write it? What do I do? And everything in the forum can be searched. So let's say I want to look for something that's specifically on grading, and it will pull up all the questions in the entire forum and also in that space and in the entire place, the whole community on these questions. This is a very excellent way of looking for things, is by the hashtags and also just by using the search function. Also in the forum, we have a chat. This, I'm not going to open it up because there's a lot of chat that I don't want everyone reading, but the chat is where people can just jump in and talk about what they're experiencing, and there's a lot of great conversations that happen in there. The next space that may meet your need is Roundtable. Tomorrow we have our Roundtable for May, and the way that it works is we all come together in a Zoom meeting and we just open up for questions and we all help each other out. and we brainstorm and we do problem solving together. And the kind of things that we have solved together are how do you learn how to tech edit? What are some good resources? How do I get better at it? What if a client doesn't send a pattern on time? How do I market myself? Last month, we talked about tech editing while having a full-time job. How do you train your brain to be ready to edit? How do I use Calendly? How do you fire a client? These kind of things all have been talked about and are available via the replays. And we do this once a month, and everyone is invited. And if you can't make the time, we alternate times. But if you can't make the times, guess what? It's all available via replay and transcript. This is one of the best parts of this community, is being able to come in and solve problems together. The next big space, and this is my favorite space, is the Better Editor framework. And the information that we're going to be covering in the coming months is kicking the fear of making mistakes, how to set up your schedule, how to make agreements and set up your terms, how to figure out who your best client is. We're going to do another session on spreadsheets, why we have community over competition, how do you deal with envy, keeping time and invoicing. All of these topics are adding to something I call the Better Editor framework, which is covering 6 major areas of learning after you take your course on learning how to tech edit. How to run your business, how to set up your back office, how to have great client relationships, and how to scale up in your skills and in your business itself. And I'm covering about 3 lessons a month right now, until they will all be available as part of the Better, as the main course in the community. The next one is workshops. So let's say that you need more information, even more. I invite once a month, I invite in a expert in the industry who comes in and does a presentation on one of the things that people are struggling with. This month, we're having Jen Parasini come in to talk about having a great relationship with your designer clients. Every month, we have a coaching session with tech editor coach Jolie Kelly, who is coming in to talk about self-doubt. How do we get rid of self-doubt in our work? We also have other ones coming up, such as finding success as a neurodiverse entrepreneur, and what is an accessibility editor? And we have a lot more on deck besides this. So once a month, you can take your skills a little bit farther and maybe broaden your scope a little bit into what's happening in the industry, and also get some more information on being a better editor. The next space that I want to show you is the new editor space. Now, in the new editor space is specifically for people who might need more advice as they are beginning. And we have a chat and we have a feed where people can ask things and not feel afraid to come forward with their no dumb questions. The bulletin board is a space where people can post a flyer to get help on a project, to pass off a project to someone else, and also to find an accountability partner. We are keen on sharing work with others that maybe we don't want to take on. And maybe we also are looking for someone to help us out with a project. This is the place that we have for that. And the last place, and the most important place in the, well, not the most important, but one of the critical places is the library. The library in the community has all these specific topics, and in each of these topics, say business, are a series of articles either that we've talked about in the forum itself, or someone has brought up a question that we've answered, or one of us has produced the information that we want to share with other people. This is an ongoing resource library that is being created as questions come out and as things get talked about within our community. And they're all specific to editing. So, like, how do I find a size chart for hats? Where is the best place to find out shaping information for this? How do I find this stitch pattern? What's the best way to market myself on Instagram? These are all information that can be found here specifically in the library that's being built. And if you are part of the Learn to Tech Edit Crochet or Learn to Tech Edit Knitting course, we have a space just for you to talk with other students. So I hope this gave you a little bit of an insight into what's available within the community. But I also want to encourage you to think about what you need as an editor right now in your business. Maybe right now you're doing fine and you've got your business processes set up and you know where to find things and you don't need anything extra. But the biggest thing that I wanted to share with you is that you may not realize what you're missing by not having easy access to excellent peers and colleagues who are in the same space and in the same kind of work that you are in. So if you want to tap into this incredible opportunity, it is to tap into an editor-only space with resources, community support, personal accountability. Signups are only open for a few more days. If you feel like this is a space for you, you are welcome. I'm encouraging a community culture where there's no drama, no jealousy, no me first, no negativity. I want this place to be a safe space where you can let your editorness hang out and your obsession with the craft that you love be on full display. It's a very fun, friendly, professional, open, and accepting place. So if you're a pattern designer, this is not for you. This is only for editors of yarn patterns. And this is a place to make lasting connections with other editors, to work without fear, to do work to get great clients, to increase your skills, and also just to get help when you need it from people who are working in the same space that you are. So come on in. I invite you. And if you have any questions, you can throw them down into the comments. I am not a tech editing magician. I'll just be very honest with you. I worked hard for many years to build my business and my editing specialty to eventually have a booked out calendar, lots of opportunities for jobs. And in the process, I've gathered a lot of experience that I want to share with you because I know what it's like to be isolated, to be struggling behind the computer screen. And I want each of you to succeed in the same way that I did, which was not by myself, but by getting connected to a network of people who are all pulling for each other and helping each other and valuing community over competition. And just get a little bigger. When we help each other move forward, ultimately, the better off our industry is. I've seen the results over and over. It works. Being a part of something bigger, it smashes our lack of confidence. It destroys our fears. It takes away the hesitation around our work. It builds us up to be around other people who truly understand what we experience in being in this tech editor's seat. And in the process, by taking care of ourselves, we get better at taking care of our clients. And then guess what? Patterns get better and better, and designers feel supported. And then we've done something amazing to make that happen. So now's the time. If you want to join us in the community, say yes to being part of something that's just beginning, but has the potential to have a huge impact on the industry, I hope you will go to the link in the comments below and join me. And truly, this is your time, your special place, and I can't wait to see you in the Tech Editor Hub community. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for watching if you're watching on replay. And feel free to shoot me any questions you have about what I'm offering and also about what it means to be a tech editor in community. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you. Bye-bye.